Okay YouTube, so here we go with my follow-up wormery video. We're about a week in now and this is the wormery. It's not actually in its forever home. I don't know where I'm going to put it in the garden yet, but for now it's finally outside. So for the first few days I had the wormery inside. The first night no escapees. Second night I came home, got up in the morning to about 10 dead worms all over the kitchen. So I found out the worms like moisture, so if they can't get moisture and they escape, they die. But I had so many worms, wasn't too concerned. Rang the lady that sold me the wormery. She said, "Oh, I'll leave the light on for a few nights, it'll keep the worms in." That seemed to work fine. Then I put it outside. The box that it came in, you can probably see the bottom there is still a bit of the box. I then put this in that box and sealed it up so the worms couldn't escape. So for a few nights they were in that, and I think only one or two sort of wiggled out. And now it's been outside like this for 2 nights and we've not had any sort of escapees as far as I know, but as you can see they've only got to go from there and then they're in the soil, so yeah. But they seem to be getting quite settled, so I've not opened this for a few days, so let's try and see what happens. So what I'm going to do is to take the lid off. Generally there's a few of the worms living in the lid, so let's have a look. So actually there's nothing, so none of the worms are living in the lid at the moment. They've obviously gone underneath for some reason. So here you can see the cardboard, and these are what I presume are worm castings. So I actually just thought when the worms started escaping that I'd put some cardboard on as well. Yeah, there's a few worms down there, I don't begin to see them. But actually it seems to be doing their job and they're staying in. So if I just peel this back completely, so there is cardboard and some newspaper which I put down, and then also some shredded newspaper, which actually seems to be going quite quickly. So this was a layer of cardboard, normal sheets of newspaper, and then in here, and you can see this with the light, in here was some shredded newspaper, which the worms are happily eating and munching their way through. And then down here was the raw koya with some normal soil. So actually they're munching their way through the shredded newspaper really quickly. It's been about a week, and yeah, they've munched through that quite nicely. As you can see, the worms are there in there, all wiggling away and doing their thing. I won't disturb them too much because they don't like the light, but as you can see, some are living in the cardboard, a lot of them are living in the soil. Let's go over this side and take a quick look. Yeah, so once again it's the shredded newspaper's all but gone now. As you can see, there's bits of it left, but not much. Don't know what that is. Looks like some kind of seed, but I don't want that in there, so I don't want things growing. So the shredded newspaper's almost gone. And as you can see the worms are very healthy and lively. Pop you back. So they're all happily munching away. So yeah, so the row of shredded newspaper almost seems completely gone. So I guess they're settling in, and all these worm droppings, which is what I presume they are, indicate that they're quite happy and healthy. So looking at the instructions that came with it, obviously when you first get it, it's quite a sterile environment, so that's why the worms like to escape, because there's no bacteria. So the fact that the worms aren't escaping, they're no longer living in the lid, and there's clearly worm castings there, and they're eating away from the newspaper, indicates that they are probably now quite happy. I'll take this tray off very quickly and then I'll show you what's in the sump. So now into the sump itself. This is the bit where any liquid gathers, and obviously you've got the tap to let it off. In the early days I did find there was quite a few worms down here and it was getting quite liquidy, so again when I rang the company they said, "Oh, just put some newspaper in." As you can see, there are a few worms in there that seem to want to live in the sump, hiding away in this newspaper. I do like to move them back up into the main wormery, so that's what I'm going to do in a minute. But yeah, there's not too many down there, and this newspaper just takes away any of the dampness so they can't escape. So it's actually doing quite well. You may well be able to see that there's actually 2 trays there. So the top one here is where the worms are, and then this one underneath is just an extra one. When I brought it outside, what I actually did was put that one and then those 2 there underneath, so any of the worms on top would wiggle into that one, into that one, into that one, and so on, and hopefully give them less chance of escaping. They seem quite settled now, so I've taken those two out and washed them, and to be honest I actually forgot about that one, but that one's got a little bit of worm castings in it, so what I might do is actually just leave it there for the time being. So when this top tray is full of food, which I'll start feeding in a few days' time, I then have to use another tray and use some of the soil from above to make it less sterile. But if there's a few bits of worm castings in there, that starts the less sterile bit off. So maybe not what you're meant to do, but that's what I'm going to do. It also gives it a slight bit more of height. So that's it really, guys. A couple of days' time I will start feeding it. But yeah, after the first few days of hassle with worms escaping and having to leave lights on and then put it in a cardboard box and taping the cardboard box up, and the worms seem to have settled. So that's just a quick review. I'll do another review shortly when I add some food. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Do like and thumbs up. Again, if you're here for my cruise ship videos, they are coming very shortly. I may well do a scratch card video, I don't know. But yeah, definitely more cruise videos and obviously some more worm videos. Okay guys, cheers, bye bye.